Welcome back. Thank you for joining us after the break. We are here right now with our intern in studio, Dagoth. Dagoth, you're one of the last Dwemmers around right now, right? You're the only Dwemer alive right now?
That is true. I have heard rumors about Yagrum Begum alive, but I am not too sure about that.
Dagoth, you got an interesting history. Very interesting history. I'd love to go over it one day in the future. Unfortunately, today is not a good day because you know about our big surprise, right?
New co-host day. I am so excited for new co-host day.
I'm excited too, but I guess he's going to be a little bit longer. He's on his way, apparently. I wanted to get back to the discussion we're having before break. We're talking about Billy Talent versus Green Day. Where you stand on that right now, Dagoth?
My admiration and respect for Billy Joe Armstrong has been stated multiple times here and on my X account. His voice is so unique and he just hits the chorus so hard. He carries the music by himself, no need for a backup singer.
I gotta admit, Dagoth, I don't think you know what you're talking about. You're wrong, buddy.
I am not
Green
wrong.
Day uses a backup singer. It uses Mike Dirnt. Just like Billy Talent uses Ian DeSaw for the backup singing. So I don't know exactly what you're talking about when you're saying that Billy Joe can carry the whole song by himself. Green Day has a backup singer.
Billy Talent's lead singer.
Ben Kowalewicz. Benjamin Kowalewicz. That guy that we're talking about right now.
Yes, him. His voice is far too high for my liking. I cannot even hear the chants that he utters because it sounds like an echo factory.
Yeah, I don't think you see the irony in that, Dagoth. Anyways, Becky, how are we doing with time? Do we have our guy here soon? Do we have our new co-host coming in?
He is just at the check-in desk now. Benji went down to walk him to the studio. Should be less than a minute.
Oh, cool. Thank you, Becky. Yeah, I'm so excited for this new co-host. Becky, before we change topics, Green Day or Billy Talent? I think you know the answer.
I actually only listen to My Chemical Romance, to be honest. That is probably one of the only classic rock bands I listen to.
Big fan of My Chemical Romance. Not a big fan of the whole classic rock thing. Are they classic rock? Probably a little over 20 years old. I don't know. I think that's crazy. I think that's crazy that you said it was classic rock.
You would probably consider Greensleeves classic rock.
Dagoth, I understand what you're saying. I think it's absolutely bananas. I think it's so crazy. Greensleeves is definitely not classic rock. I appreciate how old you are. I know that you're an older gentleman, but I'm talking about a 20-year difference with Billy Talent, My Chemical Romance, Green Day, all that stuff. You're talking about a song that's like, what, 1,000 years old, maybe? That's insane.
I think Dagoth is just trying to say that music changes over the years, and at one point Greensleeves was considered the newest, hottest thing.
No, I know what he's saying, Becky. He's being Dagoth. He's being very hyperbolic. Next thing you're gonna hear is he's gonna say that banging two rocks together was the original Stairway to Heaven. Dagoth, it's 1,000 years. I don't even live as long as the difference between the creation of Greensleeves to today. I'm talking about a 20-year span.
You are taking this example too literally. 20 years is clearly a long time in the development of music. Look at the difference in play speed between Led Zeppelin versus Green Day. Stairway to Heaven plays so much slower than Holiday.
Oh my god. Oh my god. The day that Dagoth makes more sense than I do. And it has to be on new co-host day. Where is Benji? Where is Benji?
I only make more sense than you on days that end in Y.
Becky, you know that just because you muted your mic for the show, I can hear you laughing at Dagoth's terrible joke. How far out are we from Benji coming up?
Hey, is now a good time to come in?
Hey, Benji, you got the guy? You guys got past security and everything?
Yeah, everything went over smoothly. We just got stopped a lot to take pictures, but what are you going to do? I'll get him potted up now.
Wow, you sound happy about that, Benji. Yeah, get him potted up. We'll just go over What were we talking about? We're talking. Um, okay, so I like Billy Talent more than Green Day. Dagoth likes Green Day more and says that they do not have a backup singer. And Becky was talking about My Chemical Romance, and then Dagoth was bringing up Stairway to Heaven and Holiday. Yeah, it was Holiday, right, Dagoth?
Yes, I like Stairway to Heaven and Holiday.
Yeah, I like all those songs too. Um, I mean, it's hard, right? Comparing two things that are so similar. But, anyways, looks like we're all potted up. Benji, we're all potted up, right?
We are all potted up.
Okay, cool. Um, how about you introduce yourself? I mean, you don't really need to introduce yourself, but just because no one can see who you are. Oh, man, this is incredible. I love new co-host day. Please start.
First off, I want to thank you for letting me be a part of this show. I was listening to the show back when you were on an FM station. I see the vision with the podcast, and I am glad to be a part of it. My name is Arnold. As you may know, I am an actor, and I used to be a politician. I was the governor of California. Every job I have had, I have loved so much. I used to be the best weightlifter in the world. And recently, in the past 4 years, I have gotten a divorce. Right now, I am following the transition of the presidency with Donald Trump entering his second term. I am also following Zelensky and his work. Actors need to look out for other actors. Except for Ventura, I like video games and I still lift weights, and that is pretty much my overview. And for the conversation, I love Holiday. I am a big Rivers Cuomo and Weezer fan.
That's incredible. I mean, you could have just said your last name, Arnold. Everyone knows everything about you. You're American royalty. I mean, you were even a Kennedy, right? I just want to say thank you for joining the show. I think we're going to have a really great thing going on. I know that you had a chance to meet Benji. We have Becky in the booth over there. She's one of our showrunners. She's a show engineer. And we also have Dagoth He is an intern. He's part of the support staff. He doesn't really take money. He's kind of just learning all of this new media stuff. Arnold, this is incredible. I really don't even know where to start right now. Arnold, tell me, have you done a lot of radio?
The deepest I have gotten into radio was my time with Howard Stern. Short of that, my media of choice has always been movies.
You know, I could see why. You had this great run. Total Recall, Terminator, Commando, all these great action movies. Sure, you kind of sounded funny with your accent. You have a noticeable accent, but I just think of like the other guys who came after you, Steven Seagal, Jean-Claude Van Damme. I mean, all of those guys were considered jokes. I mean, I don't know if you remember when Steven Seagal got a little too overweight and he had to start using the gun. He kind of held the gun like you're supposed to, not with the one hand, but with the cupping under. So those guys were all jokes, and then you started to see your first serious actors come out in like Tom Cruise, maybe, but his frame is so small. Those Mission Impossible movies, I wouldn't really say they're action movies. You have Die Hard, but that's a one-off for Willis. I would say like Liam Neeson's Taken. What was that? Oh wait, somewhere around there. That one was a serious action movie, and then you had like Jason Statham do whatever he was doing. He was considered one of these tough guys in the action movies. But I mean, God, you had the perfect run of action movies, and not even that. You also, I don't know, what is it called? Humility? You had enough humility to do comedy movies, and you paired up with Danny DeVito. I mean, you're very smart. You're a very smart actor. You pick great projects. I remember when I first watched Jingle All the Way. I mean, it was so funny. The idea of you dressing up as that superhero. You look like that superhero, but the idea of you dressing up as him in a comedy to do comedy stuff, I mean, I was always such a big fan of your movies. And, the respect has always been there on my end.
Thank you, really, thank you.
It sounds like you haven't seen Jingle all the way. What does comedy stuff mean? Do Arnold a favor and name 3 things you liked about the movie. 3 funny things.
I've seen the movie. I know what happens in the movie. I don't know what you're trying to do here, Dagoth. Are you trying to call me out or something? I know, he's a dad, and he has to get the toy for his son. Dagoth, you're not gonna get me.
I am sorry, boss, but you are sounding vague. I think Dagoth has a valid point. It sounds like you are reading some AI synopsis of the movie.
You know, if you didn't see it, I would not be offended. I have a lot of movies, and that one is so old. Please, can we drop this topic and go back to talking about Rivers Cuomo?
Arnold, please do not listen to them. They're just messing with you, especially Dagoth. I don't know what kind of Ashland joking that he wants to do. He wants to just kind of screw me up with everything I'm doing here. I've seen the movie. It's very funny. I love the house fire scene. I love your interactions with Sinbad, right? Sinbad was crazy in that movie. And then your son kicked Sinbad in the nuts. That's incredible stuff. I love that stuff. And then another funny part, you pretend to be that cop. I love that. And did I already say it? You were on the float as the superhero. I thought that was funny. And then you had the whole jetpack scene, and uh, getting the toy was a whole funny thing. I remembered laughing, very, very laughing at that whole, situation that you had, because you didn't get it. And Sinbad, the mailman, I'm just surprised that Sinbad didn't open up some of the presents himself, you know what I'm saying? And steal them, because he was so unhinged in that movie. But yeah, no, great stuff. And you know what? Uh, you know, let's get a little deeper into it. For a lot of the movie, you were the straight man to show how crazy Sinbad was. But you had your crazy moments too, right? Uh, you freaking out over the fire, that would be like a straight man situation. But you lying to the cops and being so funny, that's a you in your comedy chops thing. Do not listen to these guys, okay? You're going to be on the show for a little bit. They will do checks just to make sure that they get one on you. Anyways, I'm so sorry. I know you just got in here, Arnold. Um, I'm so happy that you showed up today. Thank you, Dagoth. Thank you, Benji. Thank you, Becky. I mean, God, Becky, incredible. Benji, incredible. Dagoth, I swear, it will send you back to that volcano. I'm sick of your games. And thank you, Arnold, for showing up. We are actually cutting into the next show's time, so we will have to cut it off now so that they can get into the studio. I just want to say, everyone watching, listening today, anything, I hope that you're ready, okay? We have that new arc. We lost our last co-host, a little bit of a racial situation. But I do not think that Arnold is going to be going on X and saying the N-word, so I'm feeling pretty optimistic. And yes, technically, what Dagoth posted on his X account about High Elves is violating the TOS of our company, but he deleted it. Okay, he doesn't mean it. He's actually a huge fan of High Elves. Is that not right, Dagoth? Dagoth has just left. Thank you for joining us today. We really appreciate you. And I know that this episode was a little slow, but we're going to go back into our regular content come next week. Thank you again, and have a great one.
This is true rock and roll. They took my sleeves and now I am green. Please let me be.